request, I had to ask them to move me up to the waiting room because there was just too like, bro, that little lounge is crazy.
Bro, that's my people, man.
It's amazing.
We throwing a cookout.
Yeah.
We throwing a cookout for my birthday. I'm flying everybody in.
God. Yo, I actually said in the chat, I was like, what if we did like an NBD tournament? We like let B run everything, but like,
Oh,
we
please,
help.
let's do it. Let's
Because
do it.
like that would really be the UFC of one-on-one basketball because everybody would just be fighting. Hold on. But yeah,
Scotty, how
it
you
was
feeling,
crazy.
man? How you
I'm good.
feeling, man?
I'm excited. I'm eager. I'm charged. Like I literally just am pacing around all day today, just like every day, to be honest. Devontae knows. I'll just call him like, yo, ready to do this. Like, let's do this. And I've been ever since the announcement and locking everything in, like I've just been charged.
So what has been the best thing about this process for you, and what has been the worst thing about this process for you?
Um, I
Adrian,
think
again,
that
thank you, brother. Go ahead.
the best thing about this process is seeing the YouTube community that we've built in this like online basketball scene getting stamped. Like even just even just, locking in with Michael Beasley and Lance, just stamping and seeing that they like trust is honestly the most important thing that I've seen out of this entire thing. Devontae brought it up. We've worked with Bees already on a season, and him wanting to come back and being down and also trusting us to deliver the legacy of who he has been and what everybody has talked about just also validates to us across the board that like what we're doing is making people feel valued and that they have trust in us. And now adding Lance into the picture, it's the same exact approach, except like I'm even more inspired now because we're seeing all of this. So it's like we're just gonna go 10 times harder. And then seeing Kyrie, on stream talking about what we're building and how much he loves it. And he's also giving praise to the players of like, you guys are in our locker rooms and your guys' skill is on the level of where we're at. Like a lot of those guys, he's vouching like your guys' isolation basketball, one-on-one, your skill, what you got, your heart, it's on a respected level. So it's just for so long, like even when we were doing the park scene, you always just see like, oh, they're just YouTubers. And it's always been a battle we fought to like get people to see them in a different light, and we're finally getting them to see them in a different light. So
So
that's the coolest part. The hardest
go
part,
ahead, go ahead.
I would say, is just the timeline. Like, there's so much stuff we got to get done in the next 60 days. We're about to do this season, but as soon as we're done with the season, that workflow is like, we're going to be working every day for 60 days straight afterwards to build this up. And that's probably going to be the hardest part, more so just on like the side of getting exhausted. But it's like, this is what we do. This is what we signed up for. Like, we're going to be working nonstop.
No, you already know what's going on, man. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching sports. Today's lineup, we're going to have Jordan Poole, more than 16 and a half points. He's been able to reach this mark in 3 of his last 5 games, and he's playing a Philadelphia team tonight that is without its top players. So we're going to go with Jordan Poole, more than 16 and a half points tonight. The next part of our lineup is going to be Luka Doncic. We're going to be using that green goblin, and we're going to be doing more than 24 and a half points tonight. He's playing an Indiana Pacers team who is in the middle of the pack of defensive rating around the league. So we're going to be going Luka Doncic more than 24 and a half points using that green goblin. All you have to do is use the link in the description, download Prize Picks, and use code BELLIS to receive $50 guaranteed once you place your $5 lineup. That is code BELLIS, and you will receive $50 guaranteed once you place your $5 lineup. Let's get to work. Cap, I'm pretty sure both of y'all seen the Lance Stephenson video of him running up the hills. Yo, he's
Yeah.
early. Like, he's locked in
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
It's early.
You know what I
He's locked.
really, really respect, and this is our first time working with Lance, so there was no expectation that we had because it's like we don't know him. But the fact that he's just out the gate taking it so seriously is very, very inspirational. And again, I keep saying the word charged, like that's exactly how I feel. There's no other way to say it. And seeing him getting back in shape and taking it serious and putting in his caption, um, the grind starts now, or what he had said, and he put June 6th one-on-one because I also know that Bees sees that. And then when Bees sees that, he's working too. He's already working because we talked to Ronnie and we know that he's in the gym, but it's like this is very quickly going to be like, yo, one of them's not going to be as prepared as the other one, and we're going to find out who it is, and they both know it.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing about this whole process.
Scotty, is it green to give the fans the layout of the season?
Um, I mean, yeah, I think we can talk about it a little bit.
Go ahead.
Well, our season, because there's coaches there, right? Like it's not going to just be all one-on-ones. When we did the last one with Rio and B's, there's ones, there's threes, there's fives. There's going to be a bunch of unique game modes that are designed to birth rivalries. Because this time for the pay-per-view, there's going to be more than just one matchup that you're voting for. So we're going to have the entire community choose. We're going to have the entire community literally pick games that they want to see happen and like okay, like we're instead of us being like all right, here's the contract, we're putting the money up, we're doing this, here's the game, hopefully people want to do it. It's like yo, they voted you in, you did enough this season, you like you're coming into the season. Think about guys that haven't particularly performed well in the past. Doesn't care, doesn't matter, go out there and hoop, build a rivalry. There's going to be ones, twos, threes, fives, and it's just like the last season we did with them where there's rotations and there's coaching and there's a draft and there's all of that.
So you mean to tell me the fans will be able to pick some of the matchups that they want to see in the pay per view in TNC two?
Yeah, because think about what this has done with like having Bees and Lance being the main event game, right? The amount of coverage that this has received, like this is all strategy. Like we know what we're doing, we know what the method is, and we made that game happen. It went on Sports Illustrated, it was trending on Twitter. NBA guys are talking about it. There's going to be a lot more talking about it. You're seeing it on podcasts. Michael Beasley's name was trending on Twitter. Lance Stephenson's name was trending on Twitter. We're bringing on an audience that's way bigger than what is watching TNC currently, but we're going to let our fans choose who are the most entertaining guys that this new audience needs to see. Because right now we could select the guys that are winning games and the guys that have the best records, but the community knows and the viewership speaks for itself. Who's the most entertaining and who do you trust the most to put on that big stage and represent as the undercards underneath Michael Beasley and Lance Stephenson? I bring up the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Everybody was tuning in because of that, but those girls that fought right before it, they stole the entire show. So we want the community to provide the opportunity of like, who do you want to steal the show? That's the matchup. We'll make it happen. Cool. Oh, you want another matchup? Cool. We'll make it happen. Maybe even a third. We'll make it happen. Maybe even a fourth, we'll make it happen. So we're really going to put all of our trust into our community. We need everybody to just stand up, and this new community that's coming in is going to be blown away.
I'm asking both of y'all this question. Hypothetically, everything goes perfectly. What eyes do y'all think will be on TNC after this?
Oh, we're pretty aware of who's already on it.
Yeah.
Um, Not like just people, but like companies and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, everyone.
Yeah.
Uh, I think like, go ahead, Scotty. You sound like you got something.
I was going to say it's especially the timing, right? It's the pinnacle of what's going on in basketball, the NBA finals. And it's a ballsy time to launch this for like from a standpoint of like what we're competing with, right? Like we're competing with, and I'm not saying competition is in the way of like we're trying to compete. It's just like we want to deliver something that you can compare your experience to. So we're doing it when basketball is
Like,
its hot. Yeah, because you think like this is on YouTube. This series is going to be on YouTube. People are going to be watching playoff basketball, and right on the little sidebar, it's going to say recommended videos. We're definitely going to hit several of those recommended videos just because of the numbers we already deliver, and you got NBA names in it. So yeah, I think everybody's going to be put on notice. I can't imagine, I really can't imagine a single person that is currently in the NBA that won't know about this. Like, just think about it. There's going to be no locker room that's not talking about this
No
game.
way.
Not a single locker room. Everybody's going to know about it. So everybody that's acting as if they don't know about it, like, there's just no way unless you live under a rock.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
ask the same question to Devontae. I want to ask it to you. Talk to me about the personality clash that's going to happen in this season because Rio and Bees was having a clash, and they weren't even scheduled to play.
Yeah.
Talk to me about
Yeah,
that.
I think we know two things, right? Lance is very much a troll. Like he's incredibly skilled, but he's so entertaining from like a he when the energy gets going, like he's not gonna hold it back. He's gonna dance, he's gonna celebrate, he's gonna talk his shit, he's gonna bump into you. And then you have Bees, which we saw in the season of Bees. If you remember, day one, the first game, every time Tay scored, whoa, 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 chill, not yet, not yet. Whoa, 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 chill.
Do it
But
again.
the moment Draco changed teams,
Whole
he was in
personality change.
everybody's face going crazy. And like, bro, you can't tell me that day one, Lance isn't gonna turn him up off game one. Like he's gonna turn him up off game one, which is gonna now create like a no matter whatever I say to you, I know I gotta see you on June 6th. So all of this is going to be used for promotion, and you're testing me in front of a large audience, right? And all the players are also in my corner because the players are going to get involved in all of this stuff too. Like you're going to hear the players saying like, "Lance gonna fuck you up, B's gonna fuck you up," and the gym is just going to be so competitive. Which we've thought about it. And we're like, man, they're gonna want to check up right then and there. Like they're gonna want to check up right then and there, and we can't let it happen because it's why let it happen? Like we got to build this up the right way. But like I know just from talking to both of them, the level of seriousness, like for Bees, this is an opportunity for him to show everybody what everybody's been talking about, what everybody's been saying about his one-on-one game. And for Lance, Lance has always been you see him in the positions of like the underdog and stopping superstars and guarding superstars and shutting them down and getting in their head. And this is right now, Bees is the one-on-one Titan, and I'm coming in and I just want to take the Titan down. That's what Lance like that's how I
He's
feel it
so
is.
used to that
Right?
role.
And
That's
the
his
public,
role in life.
yeah, the public, like we're gonna look at the comments, like this is just the perception from the people that we're seeing
Yo.
on the comments is like the majority has Bees winning this game. And as soon as we saw that, Lance is running hills. And I'm just like, yo, he is locked in. This is everything. Like it feels almost unreal that we're now in a position that provides an opportunity for people that like I don't know when the last time like think about some guys that are going to step into this scene when they retire from basketball, what will ever make them want to get back into that mode and that shape? Like basketball is so much of somebody's identity, and I think we're watching it come back probably for both of them.
Brother, I want to talk about this. How big is this season going to be for the players? Because the fact that they are able to get voted in,
Mhm.
just talk to me about the magnitude of production that they need to provide in order to get voted in, and what does it do for them
Yeah,
in their careers?
I think one giving them the opportunity that like, yo, there's probably about 40 to 50% of this audience that's going to be watching this season that didn't know who you were. So it's a fresh start for you. So entertain them, bring your best game, be in shape. So everybody I think has an equal chance because the guys that are like the current stars on the space, they're not going to know the difference. A new guy coming on for the first time, they're not going to know that there's been somebody on for 10 seasons already. So the opportunity here, not only from winning money, because there's a lot of money on every single game, not only the opportunity of winning the money, but you've always wanted the validation from pros and an audience that you're enough or you're good enough or whatever it might be, and this is the stage for it. So it's like I almost feel across like if there was no money involved in this entire thing and you were just showing up to play, this is easily worth it. It's easily worth it because this is the season that's going to change. It's going to change a few people's lives because they're going to have that grand opportunity. And if they perform in that pay-per-view stage and they perform in the season, this is going to set them up for a lot more in the future. And I saw somebody comment on your page about taking the opportunity that you had with cash and you started a career off of it, right?
Yeah.
I really hope that everybody that's a part of this season takes this opportunity and starts something with it. And I don't mean taking the opportunity and trying to just get booked places, because that is one part of getting an opportunity and starting a career with it. But there's going to be a lot of eyes on this, and they're going to want to see more of you. So if you have a good season and you know you had a good season, you better lock in. Because if you don't lock in, then you're just wasting your time. So that's just how I feel. Like the approach, like you did this off a collab with Cash. Imagine you did this as a basketball player who performed amazing for 20 videos
And I'm in
and
10
reality
of them.
shows. Yeah, you would be bigger than the first initial push was off your collab with Cash, because there's so much more that's into it, you know?
Yeah.
So I really hope everybody takes it very, 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 very serious. And I hope the fans also hold everybody accountable in that sense, because this is like we're not playing around anymore. This is getting massive.
I
Go
also
ahead.
want to say one quick thing about that kind of piggybacks off of that. I've been seeing some comments ever since we released the flyer of like, oh, here we go, like everything that you guys, every reason that you built this up is now going out the window because you have NBA guys now that are just going to steal the show and steal the money and whatnot. And I actually think it's the complete opposite. I think that them coming on board again opens up a completely different audience that now gets people paid even more. These guys that are coming onto the scene and they're getting voted into these pay-per-view games and everything, they're going to be getting paid more. They're going to have that light on them and stuff. So I think if anything, it's a it's a thank you to these guys that are coming here. And not every pay-per-view needs to have an NBA matchup. Like eventually, I do believe we'll get to a point where there's just like people that want to see yada yada. That you look at like the UFC 300, it wasn't the same hype as UFC 303 or whatever, but it still got that magnitude of each fight. And I just feel like it's the same thing each game. But I strongly believe that the NBA guys coming on board for this is only going to help everybody in the grand scheme of things. And yes, they're getting paid a lot. Yes, they have a lot of money on the line, but without that, they wouldn't be here. So we have to respect that. We have to respect what they've done in this community, what they've done in the basketball world, and we have to understand that they have a certain value and people can get to that point, but you've got to put in your fucking time too. So,
Brother, I just think I said this earlier. For Bees to come back a second time, I think says a lot already. Because just listening to Bees on podcasts and how he just maneuvers with people in general, he's not this guy that's just all he trusts. No, you gotta really show him that you're trustworthy. You feel what I'm saying? And for him to be locked in on this type of level for the second time, yeah, I think that kind of speaks volumes in itself, bro.
yeah,
Um,
we're super grateful for him.
with
Super grateful for him. Super grateful for Lance. Like having
yeah,
this opportunity, it's amazing, you know.
but bro, I think Lance is kind of walking into me with absolutely zero pressure.
But
Why do you think that?
I think the myth of Michael Beasley, man, is just like I think people are waiting to see that. The myth of his one-on-one greatness that everybody talks about league wide. I think that is like what's the not the story, but it's a heavy part of it. Lance is like the NBA guy that's coming in, like you said, I'm coming to take down the Titan.
Mhm.
So I feel like he's walking in with like little pressure. Like if I did a pie
Yeah.
chart, it's like 70-30.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely give that case, and I can see what you're saying. Just because of so many stories being behind Beasley right now, specifically about one-on-one,
Yeah.
it's almost become the topic around Beasley, what everybody says, right? Like there's so much talked about his like his skill being like one of the most skilled ever and one of the best scorers ever, and it always gets relayed back to the fact of his one-on-one game. So I see that.